Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this logo, and it's one of the worst ones I've ever seen. It's got many things going on. And if we take it, it's already broken apart. But if we take this and look at it in a wireframe, now mine looks the same, but look at all the graphic. I mean, look at that. Mine looks bad in wireframe, but in color, or excuse me, in enhanced, it's pretty sharp. It could still use a little bit of work, but it was a challenge, and I like challenges. So what I'm going to do first is make a duplicate of this and move it over. And then I'm going to make it smaller. Now we're at less than 4 inches, and it's already broken apart. So what we need to do, the text is incredibly good, so we're going to just nudge it out of the way so we won't mess with the text. Now, this is made up of, well, let's look at this. Whoop. And see, I moved it. I need to move it back to where it was. So I have my letters right back where they were. If we look at this, there are 3,410 objects. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to get rid of this outer part. And then I'm still going to look at it with the yellow box. I should have not moved it. And just to see if I got all the other stuff in we did. So we're good. Now, this is a little tricky, and it took me a little thinking to do it. Now you could use the boundary tool right here, but I'm going to go to arrange and group it. And by doing that, my boundary tool is going to go away. But we can still go to arrange and shaping and boundary. Now, before I do that, I set my nudge factor on 4. Arrange, shaping, and boundary. What that did is create a boundary around that. It's taken a little time because there's so many objects. And I'm going to move that out of the way. Now, it's got some rough spots. Whoop. And it's really jagged. So what I'm going to first do is take my Smartfill tool, and I'm going to set it on blue, and I'm going to fill that in, and I'm going to move it over. What that did is gave me a new object, because now I can left click, right click, get rid of that. Let's get rid of this, and let's move this back over. Now, if you have I believe it's X7 or X8 or before or after you have the smoothing tool, you don't want it too big, and you kind of zoom in. We're going to probably get rid of our eyelashes, but we can put them back later. So I'm going to get the smoothing tool, and I'm going to click on our item, and I'm going to smooth this out. Now, this isn't doing much, with the exception is making it smoother. You see, some of our eyelashes, and especially, I'm going to contour here in a minute, and it's going to be really kind of messed up. But I'm just trying to get the rough spots out, because if you contour with the rough spots, you're going to have more rough spots. And I think the original, or the one I sent him, came out pretty good, so I'm happy with it. So we've done a pretty good job. Now, but what we also want to do, we want to do this part. So I'm going to get the Smartfill tool and fill that in and move it over. And I'm going to left click, right click in black, and I'm going to get rid of its rough spots. You could do this later, but it's so much easier just to do it all at one time. So I'm just getting rid of the rough spots, because that's where all the different colored pixels are that I'm concerned about. That's pretty good. Now we're going to move it over. And I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to go to Effects and Contour. I'm going to contour the inside 0.02. See that little bit of a contour? Now I'm going to go up to Arrange and break the contour apart. And then I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to kind of look, see how my red line is inside that color? And you could play with what you're doing. Now we're going to do the inside, but we're going to go to the outside, that same amount. So go to the outside 0.02. I'm going to go to Arrange, break contour apart. I'm going to just get rid of the inside, and I'm going to nudge the other one over. So now what I do, need to do is make a new object, and there it is. Now, I'm going to nudge this over. Come on, computer. It's got so much going on inside of Corel that sometime on my laptop, it'll slow it down. Hopefully it'll stop thinking here in a second. I might have clicked it twice. All I was trying to do is just move it over. Come on, you can do it. And it's just because it's got so much going on. Now, as you can see, some of that garbage, well, I can't really tell it worked very good, but we're going to go here and we're going to go intersect. And this is going to take some time. It really looks like it only worked on the inside, but look at that. We got rid of most of that garbage. We got clean, smooth edges. Now we have lost her eyelashes, but we can fix that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away, I'm going to go up to Object or Arrange, Group, and Ungroup, and I'm going to take away that little white, so that'll be a transparent. Now what I'm going to do is edit her eyelashes. So first of all, I'm going to do is take away that gray. Now this is really going to kind of slow things down when I do the shape tool. And I apologize, it's just, my laptop just can't keep up because there's so much. I mean, if you remember, there were 3,000 parts in here. Well, that shouldn't take that long. Sometimes I'll go over and grab another tool and see if I can't wake Corel up. This is not an easy task, but I clicked too much. All right, now I don't have to, but I'm going to get rid of that little spot. Now I'm going to take this black and I'm going to grab the shape tool and I'm going to expand her eyelash out. And this is where you could play around with it and bend it. Take those two and bend them out and make them a little bit narrower. Matter of fact, I'm going to delete one of the nodes and then do that right there. And we could put a little curve on it. I've got that one a little bit too thin, so we can bring that handle that away. And you could play around with that. There's really 3 of them, and mine are going to look better because they're going to be more like a, well, I'm not going to say they're going to look better, but mine are going to look cleaner anyway. And we could put a little bit of a curve to them, you know, and then the only other thing I would do is just kind of go around the object and see some colors that we missed. You know, like she probably doesn't need that right there. I'm just going to hit delete, 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 because that was just part we didn't get. That looks pretty good. And then right here, we've got an overlap of color. So take your shape tool and just bring that up and cover that color up. And I was thinking there was one more right there, but see, there's a little bit on her back. And that, you know, that's just like a shadow part at her back. Just kind of watch it and make sure you get it all. So same thing here. Whoop, I created another one. See, there's so many little bitty bits of color. So we're going to click right there and I'm just going to take that color and overlap that color. I really think it's going to print pretty good. I think that's what he's going to do with it. And because this is going to be a really, almost looks like a cloudy day. It's a pretty good drawing, but, you know, maybe take this away, you know, and you could change colors. You know, you could select this one and make it black or whatever you want to do. Now we're really done. I'm going to say that's good. And then because we've nudged, we can nudge that over and that back up. The name is back exactly where it was. So if you look at that compared to that, that's pretty incredible. Her fist kind of reminds me of the Jolly Green Giant. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody someday, and thank you for watching.